Why does food matter on the twin flame journey? Why does money matter? Why does your health matter? Why does your mission matter? Why does your sexuality matter? Why does your meditation matter? Why does your creativity matter? Why does your co-creation matter? Why does coaching matter? Why does it matter? Isn't it enough to have your twin flame by your side and that's it? Wasn't it all about that? You just want to have them and keep them around in a traditional idea of relationship and, have a romance there and an official relationship. But, it's your twin flame that we're talking about, your true twin flame. You're in union with them already right now at the core of your heart. You're related directly right there to source. That's an enormous power. That's an enormous love that is naturally present there. It's not just a relationship, although that's what you desire, maybe. That's fine, and it will come true. But it's a relationship on a certain frequency with a certain quality. The quality of divine love opens up. The quality of the depth of your being opens up for you there. And that moves your energy, and it moves the energy of the complete universe. And it starts to move for you. It starts to move divine love to you, to the core of your union, and you're part of that union. And then it starts to move abundance that belongs to you, to your union. So you can start to receive what your heart always longed for. And you receive that together. That's true partnership. And you can see and feel and experience and make come true that it really comes in. You start to receive what is here for you on the union level and frequency in daily life areas such as your psychology, your sexual life, your health, your wealth, your mission, your meditation, your inner peace, all of it. And what divine love is for you in these topics will start to come in for you. What it is for uniquely you in the area of sexuality, for instance, will start to come in. So changes will ensue that are deeply healing. So being with the twin flame is not just being with the twin flame, it's the welcoming of an entirely new life, really, on the frequency of union with the specifics of your unique union and what you desire in your heart. And that's just awesome. It's beautiful. And that is why the year group course Twin Flame Abundance now that opens up now not only opens the heart every week in a group call together so that you can go deeper with what you currently experience as a challenge in your union process, but also makes you move through 24 daily life topics and healing topics and twin flame topics and mission topics and business topics and mission topics and energy topics and creativity topics and abundance topics. That's why. Because you will be anchoring into this new life, this heaven on earth with your true twin flame. And in every part of life, you can start to experience what true abundance for you is there. Deeply healing. deeply fulfilling. So why is food important on the twin flame journey? Personally, I always had a desire on my spiritual journey and my twin flame journey in specific to have something very concrete to touch, to feel supported, to feel physical and supported. I always longed for that. Like, isn't there a way that I can maybe like ingest things that really feel supportive? That I can feed myself and feel that it contributes to my being on the journey and to my next step on the twin flame journey. I really desired that. I really remember that 20 years ago that I wanted that and I was unsure what it was. But now, 20 years later, I know exactly what that is for you. And not only for me, but for you too, because we all have a human body. So there is a generality in that. And I've experienced everything that you can do with yourself, with food, that makes you healthy on the union level. And I pass that on as one of the 24 topics in the Twin Flame Year group course, Twin Flame Abundance Now, that starts to open up now. So that is one of the topics. And I went through that myself. And I have eventually experienced how incredibly supportive it feels to have a food regimen that is so concrete and so healthy and so fulfilling and so satisfying and so happy on the twin flame journey. Eventually, there were just instructions from Divine Mother herself about what kind of food theory to look into to start executing that and eating it and feel fulfilled and complete and supported. And you can simply do that because I will give it to you on paper. In the course, food, one of the topics, food and health. Don't you want to feel supported on the physical level so that you can do your next step in the inner work with the inner work tools that I provide and that we in the group course do together every week as well? You could still do additional one-on-one coaching with me also. That would be fine too, to have that both. That can be great. And also as a third option, you do your own inner work in your own time. Well, that would be fantastic. Then you will move forward real fast on the twin flame journey towards the consciousness state of harmonious union, because that's what you need to make the foundation on which your union will thrive. Yeah, and so why not take food into that? I always wanted to have a concrete feeling with my senses. I just wanted to have a concrete support, and food was really what I desired that to be. So I guess I'm not alone in that. So that's why I created that. And one of the things, this is just an example of one of the topics and why I put them in the course. And this goes for all those topics that I experienced it, and it's made from 20 years of experience, and also that it was communicated through the divine. That this is it for twin flames. That's for all those topics. But I really like the concreteness of food. And one of the things that I experienced was that all the ideas about food of our Western societies are pretty much wrong. And many of the foods that are available through the present day food systems and our supermarket system are not correct. But we can correct that. And then live happy in your correct understanding of food, and source your food from sources where they are, which might not always be exactly your supermarket or only a limited amount of the offer there, and try it all out for yourself. Now, one of the very surprising ideas that you will see in food is this. And you might have never realized this, because our ideas about food are biased, to say it positively. You might have never realized this, but the human functioning or life, or even biological life, the human biological life, we're talking very concrete about the body here, okay, does not work on food. It doesn't. But that's what we believe, that's what we think. But it's incorrect. You ingest things in the digestive tract, and it's kind of long actually, and all wired in your intestines, and then it has an exit, right? That's like the first system, your first health system, your first system that biologically was built when you were an embryo and your body was being formed. It's like the most primal system that we have. It's in and out. But this in and whoop and then out, this sort of a tube, right? We're sort of a tube when looked from that first system. It is actually a vacuum tube. There's vacuum between it. And yes, you could put, well, as a baby, milk in it. You could put later on food in it of all sorts and kinds. But the ground rule of it is actually what happens there is that there is energy that is in it, or goes in it, or is already in it. And it exchanges energy with like the other side of the tube. It's like what's in it, and then the other side is what's around it. The area that's around it. And that's what happens in that vacuum. So if you accept that it's just an energy exchange system, then you can see that no matter what kind of energy you put in it, it will always be translated into energy on the other side on which your body can function. And it can also be air. There's already energy in the air itself. You, the soul you, is already generating energy. And that's enough. I know you might not believe me, but it's actually fundamental. It's just how the body functions. And you might say, how do you know? Well, I did live without food and without water for 108 days, 3 months, and a little bit. And my body pushed out all the dirt that was in my body, because that's another fundamental thing that happens, which we have forgotten about the body. That is how the self-cleaning button is pushed. And it functions on the fact that you don't need food, but there is an energy exchange inside your body. And that can also happen with only energy. But food is also energy. So you can also step back into the food realm. And that's beautiful. It's abundant. And it's life. And for me, that was good to push out all the dirt in my body that had gotten into it before. So that a whole bunch of symptoms and issues that I had, illnesses, so to speak, were gone afterwards. So maybe that's too much for you. That's no problem. That's also not what I guide people to do. I just guide you to understand the fundamentals. At least understand it. And when you then, or for me, when I went back to food, God actually opened up for me what the real food is. If you want to be in the food realm, how you're going to deal with your food tube, so to speak. What kind of food is full of everything that you desire, feeling fulfilled, feeling satisfied, feeling enriched by all the, like vitamins and chemicals that we all thrive on when they're present, and they can be translated into energy in a very beautiful way that really works. Well, there is a certain, let's say, diet and way of cooking that works very well for that. And maybe you just want to immediately step towards that one. Like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Like the diet of Divine Mother. And it's very satisfying. And that also makes sure that lots of issues in your health and imbalances that one may have will be healed too. Because this food system, when you want to be in a food phase in your life and not in the non-food phase in your life, in the food phase of your life, this food idea is just full of all these chemical bindings that your body actually perceives as real food, that it can translate into energy in the most qualitative way. Instead of food that is not contributing to a qualitative energy exchange. So that's what I'm providing for you too. Wow, like if there's anything that was so easy actually, but that brought me so much, and it is so concrete, and that I practice every day, then it's really this. So why does food matter on a twin flame journey? Because with this principle, with this knowledge, and with this execution, you have a peaceful feeling in your physicality as a starting point of being here, sitting with yourself in your daily twin flame inner work and writing down what it is, feeling it in your heart, processing it, turning it around, because that's how the twin flame inner work goes. Look at my other videos and my other work to find out more how that is done. You have such a peaceful and fulfilled feeling when you're going to do this twin flame inner work on the soul level. And your body is relaxed. You feel opened up for work on the soul level because your body is already taken care of, but also truly taken care of, and not fake satisfied with sugars and white wheat products only. But truly nourished. And that just gives a grounding. It gives you rest. It gives you relaxation. It gives you the fullness on which you can thrive and feel that you have space, inner space, to open up to the next inner step of your twin flame journey. And that's why one of the topics that we'll move through in the year group course will be food. And 23 other topics. So come and find more about all of this. And check out the website. The door is now open to learn more about how to enter the program and what it all entails. Love to see you on the inside.